Good morning, Pat. I see you on YouTube. Good, that means YouTube's working. How are you today? It's nice to see that YouTube is working. I need to give YouTube some love. I was actually online last night messing around with Ducky. We were watching YouTube videos. Those pick-a-card videos, which I'm new to. I've never really done those before. But they're kind of fun, and some of them were actually hugely accurate, which was surprising to me. They were like being done for the whole month. And Ducky and I were kind of sending messages back and forth, going like, "Oh my God, look at this one," and sending a link and going, pick a pile, watch the pile I picked. It was pretty funny, if you ask me. And I was enjoying like everything that was coming up there was one, what did we do? There was one for the month of June that we did. There's a lot of interesting stuff on YouTube. I really have not explored YouTube at all. I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I do like the format. I need to work on my format a little bit, get my lighting better, get my, that doesn't help. Get a better camera, which I'm actually going to go do this morning, and maybe a microphone. Josh, who helped me get on this third-party software, is coming by with his mom, Janice, and we are going to go to Office Depot this morning and kind of look into some of that stuff. So I'm excited about that, but I need to show YouTube some love because I was losing connection for those last few days. So I know videos are posting, which is good. Hey, Teresa Barker, good morning. But I need to show YouTube some love and give some time there because I have a feeling that there's some good stuff that's going to transpire with YouTube, but we'll see. We will see. So I'm just posting to groups right now, waiting for people to get on. Looks like I have a few people on. It's not important that you guys see this in the moment. Like if you replay the video, the intention, as I said, when I pray before coming online and all of that, is that this video works throughout the entire day for all of those that come across it. For educating them, enlightening them, and helping them to achieve their highest good for that day. So that is the intention that I set. I share that intention with you guys so that you guys can keep that in your mind as you're listening to the forecast. My name is Dan Geist, and this is your energetics, sort of spiritual forecast for the day. Still trying to figure out how best to get my face. I need to move this way, but then I lose that camera. I shouldn't mess with the cameras right now. I'm just going to leave them as they are. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay for a service that will put it all on one camera, guys. But it will make it easier for me, and then I don't feel like I'm looking back and forth, and I don't feel like one audience is being ignored versus another. So hopefully, if you guys bear with me and continue to watch the forecast, they will improve. And that is my intention, and they will become more streamlined, and I might actually put on something other than what I slept in the night before. I mean, Ducky and I were watching some of them, and these people are like made up. They are like done. Their like hair is done, their makeup is done, they are like pristine. And I don't know, I don't see that as me, but who knows, give it a couple of months and I might be all, in a suit like a weatherman every morning. I hope not. That doesn't really seem like that fits me very much. Good morning, Elizabeth Love. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Janice. Trying to get this done before you guys show up this morning for Office Depot. I got to get in the shower too. I'm having coffee. I've been up since 7 this morning. Good morning, Kristen and Karen. Hey, Vicky Von Bush, if you're still watching. Good morning, Laura. And good morning, Donna Fritz Ford. How are you over in Texas? Hopefully I'll be seeing you soon. So, hey, Princess Laura over on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share. Teach me how to be A great YouTuber by subscribing to my channel. I love it that you're Princess Laura. That's an awesome name. I love it, love it, love it. So, good morning, Kelly Casey. Um, so I'm gonna just sit here. Hey, good morning, Maria May. That's my plan, is to stay my natural true self. But this is it, guys. This is you know that Beyonce song, "I woke up like this." Girl, this is it. This is as good as it gets at this hour of the day. This is as good as it gets. Good morning, Casey Peck. How are you? So I'm just gonna shuffle the cards a little bit. Um, this is my daily forecast. On Sundays, I do a weekly for the week, which was yesterday, and that's videos posted both in the business page, on the Facebook group, and on YouTube. From there, each day thereafter, I do a daily. And the way that I look at it is that my intention as I shuffle is that it is to give us a general overview of the energy that we might be dealing with for on Sundays for the week coming, and for each day for the day coming, right? So we still have the underlying energy of what Sunday has told us, but each day is more specific, right? As I pull the card for each day. So today is Monday, the 27th of May. So we're looking to see, what are we dealing with for Monday, the 27th of May? Please like, share, follow, and subscribe, guys. Forget to say that. And I noticed they say that on all the YouTube videos. Okay, so for Monday the 27th, the word that comes up as I'm shuffling the cards is flexible. Remain flexible today. Like stay open-minded. Have some flexibility, flow with things versus going against them. I felt, excuse the traffic noises in the background, Mexico's energy is starting to pick up and people are starting to head to work and get on about their day. I felt like there was a little bit of resistance, but it was nothing major, only because we need to remain flexible. We need to remain like, mutable, or like water, like just sort of move within the situation. If the situation presents us with something that we don't like or that doesn't quite work for us, find another way around it without having to be in resistance to it, right? So I didn't feel like there was a heaviness or super resistance to everything, but I did feel, though, the definite key word was flexible, like staying, having that ability to sort of change on a dime. Does that make sense? So as I'm looking at the card, I'm flipping it over, and it is the Child of Crystals, which is interesting. Crystals has to deal with the mind, and child makes me think of remaining teachable, like right out of the gate. So when I look at this, I'll just show this card to the Facebookers really quick. See this child down here? He's like got his hands out. He wants to learn. The card's called Learner. He's open to new experiences. And I'm going to post that there. Buddha holds that, so you guys can look at that card over on Facebook and on the business page. On YouTube and on the business page on Facebook. So what this card says to me today is there's a room. Obviously, it's from a very basic perspective. There's room to grow and learn today. There's going to be things, and that's about being flexible, maybe. That's about being a little bit more, not willing to sacrifice, but being willing to be more open to others' ideas, others' ways of being, allowing them to have their way, maybe in some way, so that it's a little bit easier for you to get accomplished what you need to get accomplished today. It's not going to be anything that's too painful or too obtrusive to like give up, right? It's just going to mean us going like, okay, I see where you're coming from, and I don't need to argue this with you, or I don't need to, have a headbutt situation go on. I can let it go, and I can learn from it, and I can learn how to maneuver through the situation without it sort of getting in my way, right? Does that make sense? The one thing I do want to say about this card is it is crystals deals with elements of the mind, right? So it is about sort of learning a new way of thinking and learning a new way of being. And we kind of looked at that stuff a little bit in Sunday's reading yesterday. We had that sorrow card yesterday, which let me tell you guys, I kind of felt, man, I was surprised. I don't know if that card was just solely, I don't think it was just solely for me, but it certainly, I had some moments that were actually really releasing and healing yesterday, especially during my meditation in the middle of the day. Um, but that sorrow card came up for me like a mofo. And so it was good. I needed it. But this card to me says, like, today's a day about sort of taking some of our past ways of being, our past pain, our past sort of ways of adapting or I don't know if manipulating is the right word, but our interacting, our past ways of interacting with situations, and maybe sort of dropping our guard, not necessarily being sort of, sometimes we approach things in ways where we feel fearful or we need to protect ourselves instantly. So we sort of go after that one thing or what we think it is we need with such a ferocity that we kind of push others aside or, don't take them into account. And I don't think that this card is about not taking others into account. I think it's about letting go of some of that me first mentality, right? It's about realizing that we maybe are a child in some ways and we still are learning to work with our mind and our thought patterns. It's about kind of realizing that maybe our first thought, I don't want us to think that our first thought is not our best thought, because a lot of times it very well can be. But if our first thought is sort of, fear-based or self-centered or, coming from a place of memory of something bad having happened to us and I don't want that to ever happen again, well, then that's probably not the best thought to act off of. That's just my opinion. And this learner card teaches us that, like, if we remain open, like this child, I'm going to just point to this right here, like this child here with open for the knowledge and open to learn and open to the ideas of new things. A lot of all of this stuff here, see this like up here, this dark corner, this is sort of what makes me think about those ideas of, past experiences or past sadness, past pain, those sort of things, in avoidance of those sort of things. When we're in avoidance or trying to be aware of those not happening to us again or protecting ourselves from those experiences, we actually allow them to kind of take up a big section of our brain and we allow them to sort of affect our attitudes and our actions. And so today, with that being flexible, right? That I felt in the card as being more malleable, being more flexible, being more open to different ways of acceptance. Maybe let somebody else win the fight today. Maybe let somebody else, have their way today, and set our stuff aside for a minute and learn something new about, how to approach these situations. We'll actually end up getting what we want. We'll actually get further along than we think. And we'll be able to release some of these sort of like old ways of being or old ways of thinking that don't necessarily serve us. We think that they're keeping us safe. From what exactly, I don't know. And I'm guilty of this as much as anybody. I do this too, where I'm like, I need to be safe when there's no real like actual threat at hand. It's just memories of moments where I felt threatened or things went wrong and I felt like I did not have control. So when we actually come from this place of being more like a child, open-minded, freer in our thinking, and able to allow others to sort of not win or have their way, but allow others, even if they're kind of annoying us or whatever, or if we feel like they're standing in the way of what we want, allow them to teach us a little bit. Look at them as teachers. Shift our perception around them. If they're giving us resistance or we feel as though they're standing in our way, maybe they're actually there to teach us something. Maybe they're to teach us to let go of a certain fear we might have or a certain way we might have of being that is no longer working for us. And from there, we learn and we grow and we have an easier time of things. So I think that's kind of where this card is taking me today. And I sort of like that because yesterday's sorrow card was sort of a little bit about the emotions, right? Today we're back in the mind with this Child of Cups card, and that sorrow card may still be underlying for some of us, myself included, because that's the underlying energy of the week, right? And that's for the first couple of days. Usually that's how these cards work, or in my mind. So that's how I perceive it. So, today might be learning some new tactics to get ourselves up out of that older emotional familial sorrow. That's what we're seeing up here again. I'm going to take us back to this dark corner in this card. Like, that's some of it. To me, it looks like the darkness of the sorrow card from yesterday is starting to fade, right? It's only up in this corner. And we're starting to have new hope down in here and new ideas up in here with this light up in here. New ideas are coming to us about how to operate, how to look at things, how to think about things, how to interact with things. We don't necessarily always have to win or get our way to be able to accomplish our goals. We can be open to other ways of thought or other ways of being or other ways of treating people that we find might actually get us better results than we even ever thought it would, right? So when we put up less resistance, the world puts up less resistance to us too. And you know how I always say, whatever you resist will persist. So, less resistance and more open-mindedness, more acting like a child and being willing to learn today might actually give us the flexibility that we need to be able to get things accomplished and learn a couple of new tools to sort of move through the world a little bit easier and to shake off some of that sorrow or sadness or old stuff that was no longer serving us that we saw yesterday. And that's all leading into, remember, that midweek universe card, which is like an opening up that's going to happen where choices are going to be big and multiple, and like there's going to be a multitude of them, and we're going to need to either commit to a choice or a path. And I think that this learner card comes in at this time to teach us sort of how to, think in a slightly different way, so that maybe we're more prepared or better prepared to make those decisions when the universe card really does kick in. And this is the beginning of that, actually. It's the universe giving us opportunities. So these opportunities that might seem like a pain in the ass, or, oh shit, I'm not getting what I want. What do I have to do to get this person to do what I need them to do, or listen to me, or whatever? This is the universe kind of giving us these opportunities to go, okay, what's a different way we can approach this, instead of being like maybe stubborn or aggressive or fear-based in our approach. What can we do differently? How can we be open-minded? How can we maybe let them have their way this time and still accomplish our goal in the meantime? There's different ways of doing this, and we're learning them today if we pay attention. So that's what I'm going to say is today's read and forecast for today. Don't be surprised if those moments come to you. Try not to get frustrated. Try not to slip into fear. Try not to slip into frustration or, comparing it to previous experiences and taking yourself from a present time moment into a past time memory and then acting from that. Learn to be in the present moment and centered in what's going on now, and be open to, like a child would be, to learning new ways of thoughts. And you'd be surprised with the results, I have a feeling. Hey, Carrie Anderson. Rainy days and Mondays always get you down. I'm sorry, Karen. Actually, we got a little rain here last night, and I'm super excited about that. It's humid here, but I'm glad that we got some rain. It means the rainy season's getting ready to start. All right, you guys, morning. Sean, Harmel, how are you? So you guys like, share, subscribe, join the Facebook group, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Private readings are available if you're interested. You can certainly reach out to me at the Facebook page, the business page, and ask any questions. There is a link on the descriptions that takes you to all of my stuff, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. Hey, Regina Javit, how are you? So that was today's forecast. Good morning, Sugar Christine Louise. Everything's been spot on for you. Good. I hope yesterday wasn't too sorrowful. There might still be a little bit of that, lingering today and maybe even into tomorrow for some of us. But don't let it get you down. It's part of the release that needs to happen to get us ready for the next phase, is what I'm thinking, how I'm looking at it. All right, so I'm going to sign off. I got to go. I got to get in the shower. I got to go to do this new camera thing and maybe some actual proper lighting for YouTube. And then I am going to See you guys at least by tomorrow morning. If I feel so inspired, I may get on tonight and do a pop up. If it won't be tonight, then I'm thinking maybe tomorrow night, but I'll talk to Ducky about that. And we will figure out something. And I hope you guys all have a great day. And remember, stay open minded today and flexible, like open to different solutions than how we would normally um, approach things. Okay, mentally. Okay. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.